everybody, my name is Alexandra and I'm your personal green advisor. Recently I received lots of messages from you. Alexandra, how can I live more sustainable lifestyle? I really like the nature, I understand the importance of saving it, but what can I do? So today I prepared 5 very useful tips, very easy, very quick solutions how you can make your life more sustainable. Let's go! The first tip is classic, but it's still very important. Reuse, reduce, recycle. Usually when I talk with people about environmental related stuff, the first thing they tell me, oh, I recycle. Even though recycling is very important because we can use over and over again some valuable resources. For example, you can remelt the aluminum can infinite amount of times. It is still not the best solution. Why? Because it still requires lots of heat, and where the heat comes from, burning fossil fuels. Also, not all the resources can be recycled all over again. For example, plastic, out of 40 types, only 3 can be recycled, and only 2 or 3 times. So the first thing you should do is to reduce your consumption. Buy things which you really need. And if you already bought something, use it all over again. By reducing waste, you help to conserve resources, reduce pollution, and decrease the heat of the planet. Why? Because when the waste is degraded, we have the methane produced, which I will tell you a little bit more later. Tip number 2, choose sustainable transport. Did you know that transport is responsible for the 25% of the total greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union? And in many cities, this is also the major cause of noise and air pollution. So opt for greener ways to get around. Instead of using a car for short trips, try walking, biking, using public transport. If you really need a car, try carpooling or sharing your car with a neighbor, car sharing companies, or even investing into an electric vehicle. And I'm not telling you to get rid of all the cars forever. I am myself thinking that acquiring driving license is very useful. The way how... Okay, bus lift. But limiting your emissions from the transportation will contribute to your healthy lifestyle first of all, and to the healthier planet. For example, in countries like France, they are already thinking to introduce a ban for a short distance flights. It means that if the journey will take you less than 2.5 hours by train, you cannot fly. In some big companies, they also encourage workers to make a more sustainable choice. They help you with the investment to get an electric car or just pay for your ticket for the public transport for months. Also, there are lots of amazing resources which you can use. For example, there is an amazing website called Chronotrains where you can see where can you get from your location in how many hours by train. Tip number 3, embrace the plant-based diet. I'm not telling you that you should go from tomorrow totally vegan. And it doesn't mean that you should refuse a delicious steak from once in a while. But decreasing your meat consumption will be good not just for the environment, but also for your health too. Let's think together how meat actually influences the environment. So where the gases are coming from? Not directly from the meat, right? It's coming from the cow or chicken or pork. So cow is eating the grass, and then it digests the grass in its stomach, and then what happens? Cow farts or burps. This gas, which goes out of the cow, called methane. Methane is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide, which everybody knows about. So what methane does, it covers the atmosphere and it traps the heat like a blanket inside the earth. So the planet becomes hotter. So what can we do? By eating less meat, we reduce the amount of cows, so we reduce the amount of methane on the earth. There are already existing interesting initiatives like Meatless Monday, Veganuary, when people are going for the whole January to try to be vegan. What I can advise you, explore the solutions. There are a plethora of different possibilities and great recipes. I was surprised myself what you can do with a simple chickpeas. Tip number 4, renovate and electrify. Buying a Tesla won't save the world, but upgrading your heating and cooling system actually will. With the current energy crisis and skyrocketing prices on your bills, I won't tell you that you need to mind your energy consumption. Everybody knows that you need to turn off the lights when you leave the room, unplug your electronic devices when you don't use them, or use more efficient light bulbs. What I mean that even small changes can significantly decrease your bill for the heating. So example from the personal life, what I did last winter, I took a sticky tape and I just covered the holes on my windows, which resulted in the double decrease of my spendings for the heating and also in the increase of the temperature in my room. It requires a little bit of effort and just one step at a time. Also, with the current European renovation wave, there is lots of EU funds which are directed towards renovation and electrifications of the building. Only in Hungary there are billions and billions of euros which you can spend to subsidize and upgrade your heating system at home. So it's definitely worth considering in the long term. Tip number 5, go and vote and support environmental NGOs. With just your single vote, you can totally change the policies of your national government, of your municipality, of your town or city, and even European policy. For example, this year in Budapest, there was a reconstruction of the symbol of the city, Chain Bridge. After the reconstruction works were finished, the mayor of Budapest decided to ask the citizens, do they want cars to be returned back to the bridge? Currently, only cyclists, buses and taxis, so all types of public transport, can pass from one side of the river to another. So after conducting the vote, it was decided that actually citizens don't want cars on their bridge. They really enjoyed the idea of the bridge to be car-free, not ruining the cultural heritage of the city. Another example I wanted to show that did you know that you can donate 1% of your tax to the environmental NGOs? In Hungary, this is a very nicely working system, and I'm sure in your country it exists as well. So check it out. It is a very easy solution. You don't really have to do much. Just once a year, go to the website of your tax and click the button of the NGO which you want to support. And the last point for today, educate yourself. More you know, more aware you are. You cannot even imagine, and it doesn't seem this way, but nature and human are very interconnected with each other. You can learn about flowers, birds, transport, and how it influences your health, public health, how the government structure works, the policy, the food which you can eat, and so on. And you are already doing it if you are here with me on my channel. Thank you for that. Just press the subscribe button and follow for more.